You're watching Fox 10 News at 5:30 p.m.
County Road 26 is dry now, but 2 days ago it was a totally different story, and residents here worry what will happen the next time a heavy rain comes. I'm Adam Walser in Alberta. That story coming up on Fox 10 News.
The Sheldra provides drug and alcohol addicts with hope and help. But one look at this bathroom and you can see why it's the Sheldra that needs help after Hurricane Ivan. I'm Erica Fox. That story coming up.
Some Baldwin County residents say the road they live on is in such terrible shape they can't go anywhere when it rains.
They fear if something is not done soon, lives could be lost.
Fox 10 News Baldwin County reporter Adam Walser has a look at some of the nagging problems along County Road 26.
The road that used to carry those who live along it to a life of peace and quiet has lately left them feeling anxious, isolated, and imprisoned.
When it rains, especially a gully washer, all that water comes right down through here. It stands in our yard a good 6-8 inches, just running.
Right onto County Road 26.
Comes down, it just floods the roads out. It crosses the road. It don't even come down the sides of it. The water comes down this hill and just washes the road completely out.
Meaning at least 20 people who live there are stuck.
I can't get out to the left or right when it rains. We didn't get mail Friday, and the school buses didn't come down today, I guess because they thought the roads was too bad.
My husband is ill, and if he was to have a heart attack, we could get him out to 26, but possibly we couldn't get him from 26 to the ambulance without carrying him well. He may be dead by then.
And that's not the only fearful scenario running through these residents' minds.
Say it lightning struck and we had a fire, you know, we couldn't get a fireman back here. The big heavy fire trucks couldn't get down the road.
The county highway department knows the road is a mess. A county maintenance engineer says backed up Hurricane Ivan debris filling drain pipes and ditches has made it worse. But until at least 2 weeks of sunshine can dry out the road, no dump trucks can be brought in. The engineer says that would damage the road even more. After Saturday's 4-inch downpour, the county graded the road. That gives residents a path out of their prison, at least for a while. While the county scraping the road provides a temporary fix, those who live along County Road 26 know that next time it rains, they'll have the same problem once again. Reporting from Alberta, Adam Walser, Fox 10 News.
The Baldwin County Highway Department maintains about 500 miles of dirt road. County maintenance engineers say workers have been putting in overtime repairing many of them which have been damaged during the past month's heavy rain.
The waiting list for a drug treatment center in Baldwin County has reached a crisis point. There are 28 addicts waiting to get into the Sheldra. They would all have a place right now if Hurricane Ivan hadn't destroyed a room. Now the Sheldra just doesn't have money to refurbish the rooms. Fox 10 News reporter Erica Fox shows you how desperately the Sheldra needs a helping hand.
This is what most of the rooms here at the Sheldra Drug Treatment Center are supposed to look like. Unfortunately, this is what 14 of the rooms look like, sitting vacant after being damaged from Hurricane Ivan. This room is so covered in mold. Check it out. The stench is practically unbearable.
Room after room, vacant and falling apart. All the while, the waiting list grows.
I was given a second chance at life. There's a lot of people that have problems and that people want help.
Both Mark and Carlos are former drug and alcohol addicts.
I would eat 30 lower tab 10s at a time.
Mark's addiction started at age 10.
33 years of my life drinking, doing drugs.
That is before the Sheldra. Mark waited 3 months in Metro jail to get in.
Some people don't have that luxury. Now, you call the Metro luxury? Yes, it was luxury for me because I'm still alive.
It sickens them seeing the empty rooms desperately in need of repair. And if you think just because you're not an addict, you're not affected, think again. Just ask Mark.
November 29th, 1995, my wife and son were killed in a car wreck due to a drunk driver. There's a person that needed help. A little bit of money to bring in another counselor and to fix these rooms up, that's all it takes. I mean, just a small price compared to saving somebody's life.
One more open door may make all the difference. In Spanish Fort, Erica Fox, Fox 10 News.
Addicts who call right now are being told to wait until November for a spot. To help the Sheldra provide more treatment for more addicts, please, all you have to do is log on to our website for information, fox10tv.com.
Some tense moments today at a shooting range in Mobile County. Police say a man locked himself in the restroom at the Precision Shooting Center on Harris Avenue. Officers say 28-year-old Reginald Franklin of Mobile had a loaded .45 caliber handgun. Police say he rented the gun and bought the bullets from the shooting range. A clerk heard him in the bathroom with the gun and called police. The standoff police lasted about an hour. Fortunately, no shots were fired, and officers were able to talk the man out. Right now, police are trying to find out Franklin's mental state. Police do not expect any charges to be filed. A teenager faces charges tonight in connection with a hit-and-run accident that injured a 4-year-old girl.
It's a follow-up to a story we first told you about over the weekend. Also,
I have a duty and a responsibility, and I treated him the same as I would any citizen in this circuit.
did Mobile County School Board President David Thomas receive special treatment when his license was reinstated?
Fox 10 News brought the issue to the Mobile County Circuit Judge in charge of that decision. His response after the break.
When it comes to weather, Fox 10 News gives you the power of information.
Fox 10 News Storm Tracker will provide you with the weather information that'll help you plan your day.
Our meteorologist will inform you exactly where the storms will be,
right down to the neighborhood you live in.
Depend on Fox 10 News Storm Tracker at 5 and 9 p.m.
At the top of the news hour, we told you about Pritchard Police Chief Sammy Brown being relieved of his duties.
Andrew Davis is live in Pritchard now with the very latest, including a live interview. Andrew?
That's right, Bob. After almost 5 years on the job, Sammy Brown has been let go and told he's been relieved of his duties. I'm here with Mayor Ron Davis of Pritchard. Mayor Davis, what was the reasoning behind the decision?
Well, I believe at this time that what we need to do is look at developing a new contract, and we thought that it would be feasible for us at this time to open the position up. And we did give Chief Brown an opportunity to reapply for the job, but it would not be fair to him for him to sit in the position while we seek other applicants also. So we just wanted to make sure that we get the best applicant. His contract was fulfilled by the previous administration, so and it's a good possibility that he can come back under this administration. But I believe collectively with the council working with me that we can set some criteria that we want to have and put in place for the vision and for the safety of the community at this time.
Now, in your release, you did say that you urged him to reapply for the job. Have you been happy with Chief Brown's job, and what are the chances that he could come back as chief?
Well, he has just as great a chance as any other applicant that may apply in the future. Chief Brown has done a great job. I've been very pleased with him, but I think that collectively we have everyone that's in this government at this time was not part of the government when he signed his initial contract 5 years ago. And I think that the process should be given where everyone has an opportunity. And I want to work continuously, closely with the council and have them to be a part of the decision that is made in these important positions.
Is this at all a monetary issue, or are you looking to bring someone in who might make less money or different experience, or what may be the decisions, factoring decisions in what you're trying to do?
Well, it has nothing to do with money. It just has everything to do with putting the person that we feel that is going to meet the criteria that we set at this particular time. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with the qualifications of Chief Brown. He's done a great job, but we need to move forward as far as making sure that we look at all of our options out there.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mayor Davis. Obviously, Chief Sammy Brown been with the Pritchard City area for about 5 years now, and it's a situation where now they'll be looking through all the criteria and looking for a brand new candidate in the next few months, and we'll be following that search as it happens. Bob and Anissa.
Thank you, Andrew. Mobile County School Board President David Thomas is back on the road tonight. Fox 10 News has confirmed that his license was reinstated pending a hearing with the Alabama Department of Public Safety. Thomas's license was suspended after he refused to take a blood alcohol test Mardi Gras night and was charged with felony leaving the scene of an accident and DUI. Refusing to take the test results in an automatic 90-day suspension. Last week, David Thomas's lawyer, Donald Briskman, filed an appeal with the Mobile Circuit Court. The judge who signed off on that appeal was Herman Thomas, a fraternity brother and a distant relative and friend of David Thomas. But Judge Thomas says what he did was not special treatment. It was simply part of the routine paperwork involved in his job. He even signed a similar request for another man that week.
Did not make a decision as whether or not the suspension was valid or not valid. will not make that call. That call will be made by another judge. I only accepted the petition as the duty judge for this circuit.
Thomas says he has never seen a request for a civil hearing denied by a judge. Judge Thomas's signature means the case will be set for a hearing before a civil judge sometime in the future. While that appeal is waiting to be heard, David Thomas is now allowed to drive. David Thomas's felony case has been bound over to a grand jury. It will decide if he should be indicted and stand trial.
15-year-old boy is charged with assault, accused of hitting a 4-year-old relative with a car. It happened Friday evening on Fall Avenue in the Whistler community. Police say the juvenile confessed to the crime yesterday. According to police, the boy said he stole the keys to the car to listen to music. While he was sitting behind the wheel, he said the car kicked into reverse and hit the girl. Suspect was taken to the Strickland Youth Center. Because he is a juvenile, police are withholding his name. The little girl suffered head injury. She has been released from a local hospital. Good news tonight about a 9-year-old boy hit by a car in Mobile. Fox 10 News has learned that Corey Johnson has been released from the hospital. We first told you about the story 3 weeks ago. Johnson was riding a bike with his friend on Athey Road when he was hit. Police charged 43-year-old Sandra Morse with felony DUI.
I want to give you an update on the bone marrow donation I gave last month for a leukemia patient. I learned today the 2-year-old patient received the marrow Friday, and it was a successful transfusion for him. So many of you have asked how the child was doing. I wanted to keep you updated. Now, this is the last update I will get on his condition since it is an international donation and privacy laws are very strict in some countries. But this is the last you'll hear about the process. In the coming months, I'll do a series of stories to let you know what the process is like. I'll introduce you to people whose lives have been saved because of it. And most importantly, I'll tell you how you can become part of the process.
Oh, it's too bad you can't find out more about.
I know. I've learned that there are quite a few people whenever there's an international donation. It depends on what country.
Right.
Some countries' laws are very strict. Other countries, after a year, if you want to meet and the patient wants to meet, it's okay. But I just pulled the short straw on that one.
Right. In this case, it's strictly against the law, period.
Yeah, that's it. This is the last I'll hear of it.
Well, you did the best thing you could.
Well, it felt good, so I'm okay with that.
That's true.
Well, you know, $1 may not sound like a lot of money.
But for hundreds of thousands of workers in Florida who work for minimum wage, an extra $1 an hour could mean a lot. Also,
I moved my office down here to, to help downtown Mobile. This is the thanks I get.
Downtown driver gets the boot, and getting rid of it is expensive.
Well, there won't be any boots on the school bus tomorrow morning. It's going to roll at 7 o'clock. The temperature will be 54 degrees. Cool morning, mild afternoon. Look for a high tomorrow of 74. It will be a bit breezy at times, and I've got those forecast highs next on Fox 10 News at 5:30 p.m.
I walked around the corner, saw that I had the boot on there, and called them and asked, and they told me the amount. I mean, I almost died,
That's what Michael Kopp has to say about getting the boot. He is the first person to have his car booted in downtown Mobile. As we first told you last week on Fox 10 News, the boot is the city of Mobile's latest effort to get drivers to pay their parking fines. The magic number is 7. On your 8th parking ticket, this parking boot is put on your car. To get it off, you'll be forced to pay off your tickets like Kopf here. He had more than $2,100 worth of unpaid fines. And if you think he's the only one, think again. More than 9,500 people have one or more outstanding parking tickets. That amounts to more than $500,000 worth of unpaid fines.
Ooh, that is a lot of money to have to be able to drive your car.
$2,100. That's a lot of tickets.
Oh, I know. His head is just ready to explode.
And his wallet's empty.
Yes. Well, let's send things over to John Ed to find out what's going on in weather.
Exactly. John Ed?
Well, we have a few clouds out there, but no clouds bringing any rain down in southern Mississippi or southwest Alabama. No rain over here in Jay or Milton. That was not the case, of course, on Saturday morning. Right now, what we're looking at is a few showers coming across Arkansas and rolling through northern Mississippi. Down here along the coastline, outside right now, it's partly cloudy. It's currently 77 in Pensacola, 77 in Mobile. In Montgomery, there it's 75. Cooler as you move away from the coastline. Memphis has 60 degrees right now. Memphis is going to drop to 43 tonight. We're going to go down to 54 in Pensacola and 50 in Mobile. Now, that's a little cooler than you'd expect this time of the year as we roll into May. And by the way, we've had the 3rd wettest April in Mobile in the history of recorded rainfall. And it's been the wettest month on record in Pensacola with 24.5 inches of rain in 1 month. Now, here we roll into a brand new month. And we're looking for a partly cloudy day tomorrow. 75 the high in Mobile and Grand Bay, 75 in Daphne, about 74 in Bay Minette. Also down here along the beaches at Orange Beach in Citronelle, look for a high of 74. Now in Pensacola, our high will be up to 76, 75 in Pace, and in Oak Grove, 77 in Crestview, and in Fort Walton, mostly sunny and the temperature there in the mid-70s. Only reaching 72 in Jackson, Alabama, Beatrice 72, Evergreen 72, and 71 in Thomasville. Now in Leakesville, Mississippi tomorrow, the high is going to be 74. The high will be 75 here in Pascagoula and Lucedale, and in Hurley about 74. Here's those rain showers coming toward Memphis, but there are no flight delays around the south. Tomorrow, again, partly cloudy, 74 the high, 51, about the same tomorrow night. 20% chance of rain on Wednesday as the clouds increase, 75 the high on Wednesday, and 76 the high on Thursday. A chance of rain Thursday is 40%, 20% on Friday. It's looking pretty good out there for a couple of days around here with a chance of rain, Bob, coming midweek.
Thanks, John Ed. If you work for minimum wage in the state of Florida, congratulations, you just got a raise. The minimum wage just went up $1 to $6.15 an hour. $5.15 is the national minimum wage. It's also the minimum wage in Alabama. Florida voters approved the increase last November over the objection of some business groups. At least 13 other states have minimum wages higher than the national average. The Department of Homeland Security is trying to make traveling abroad a little easier.
In doing that, it's passing on some of the burden to you. You'll now need a few more things before you leave for vacation, and we're not talking about your sunscreen.
Details when Fox 10 News at 5:30 p.m. returns.
The Department of Homeland Security is cracking down on travel to certain countries. Under a new set of rules, folks who travel to Mexico, Canada, and the Caribbean will have to have a passport. It's part of the Intelligence Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act passed in 2004. Fox 2 News reporter Sheldra Brigham has the story.
Nathaniel Johnson and Albert Smith are taking a cruise to Mexico soon.
Do you have a passport now?
No.
On this trip, they won't need passports, but if they go to Mexico after 2006, they will.
I think it's a great idea for security reasons. I have no problem with it.
Right now, all you need to get into Mexico is a birth certificate and an ID. Under the new rule, you'll have to have a passport. That will directly affect people traveling out of Mobile, especially on the Carnival Holiday cruise ship.
Well, it's going to affect all our cruise people, and just out of the city of Mobile, we'll have 4,500 passengers sailing every 2 weeks out of the port of Mobile.
Steve Cape with Springdale Travel says there are pros and cons to the changes.
It's going to be a bit of a burden on people that normally don't travel out of the country, but it is good for once every 10 years, and maybe that would be inspiration for them to travel more.
Others in the travel industry are worried the price of a passport may also be an issue. For an adult, a passport is $97 and it's $82 for children. Now that's about $358 for a family of 4.
Getting a passport is a fairly easy process. You just go to the main branch of the post office and pick up an application. Next, someone will take your picture.
Okay, just lower your chin.
Then your application is mailed off and you should have your passport within 6 weeks.
The post office is the only place you should get a passport.
For Mobile County, this is the only place that you can get a passport. And I believe we're the only place in Baldwin County. They may have one other location. Otherwise, you have to drive to New Orleans.
Fonda Gant says the post office is anticipating a huge rush in applications.
Oh, we'll have to put on extra staff to handle it, you know.
That's something else travel companies are worried about. The post office may get bogged down with applications, and that could mean problems for travelers.
They'll have to cancel because they don't have the correct documentation, and it'll cost them money. They'll have to pay penalties.
Cape recommends getting your passport early. Johnson says he'll do whatever it takes.
I know it'll be a little extra work that we have to do, but I'll be glad to do it.
In Mobile, Sheldra Brigham, Fox 10 News.
The new rule will take effect on December 31st for the Caribbean and South America. For Mexico and Canada, it will go into effect on December 31st of next year.
Chief Meteorologist John Ed Thompson standing by with another look at your forecast.
But first, here's a preview of one of the stories we're working on for Fox 10 News at 9.
There is no outlet on Scarborough Circle, so you can imagine the neighbors were suspicious once they noticed vehicle activity picking up. But now they know why. Police down this road have busted a prostitution ring. I'm Jeff Barker, and I'll have more on this story tonight on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m.
Here's a look at the next 7 days. Chance of rain at 20% by Wednesday and 40% on Thursday. Another pleasant day tomorrow with a high of 74 under partly cloudy skies. The low in the morning about 50.
All right, then. That's not bad.
Not too bad at all.
Comfortable.
Thanks, John Ed.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Hope you're back tonight at 9 p.m.